Hello everyone, this is Makanyadevi from Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So now we are going to see about predictive analytics. So before we move on to predictive analytics, we will see what is a machine learning, which is the basis for predictive analytics. So what is a machine learning? Machine learning is nothing but a computer, that is a computer will be trained by the previous experience, and with the previous experience it is going to predict the output. That is what a machine learning is. So when we see the definition of machine learning, so the computer will be programmed with the previous experience with the basis of some previous task assigned to it, and with that task the performance will be evaluated, and which will be improving the experience. So with the basis of this, the machine will be predicting the future outcome. So this is what the machine learning means. So this is one simple example of how to define the machine learning. So here there were 5 different fruits were being given. So these 5 different fruits, we are going to classify the fruit what image it is. So when the fruit is in the shape of oval and red color, we are going to classify it as an apple. So this task has been given to the students, and the students were able to clearly identify the images, what image it is. So how it has been identified? Based upon the image, the clarity of the image, and how it is being shape and the color of the image. So now the next set of fruits has been given to the students, and since these fruits were very different for the students, only few were able to predict it correctly. So to identify it easily, we are going to feed these set of images to the machine, and the machine will be trained how to analyze the images, and when the images were being given to the machine, it will correctly identify what type of image it is. So this is what the machine learning means. So when the fruit names have been given to the students, 3 students have been given, and the performance of each of the student have been evaluated. So when we take the student 1, he has correctly identified 2 and incorrectly identified the 3, and so the performance have been evaluated as 40%. So now when we go for the traditional algorithm and the machine learning, how does the traditional algorithm differs from the machine learning? So the traditional algorithm, we will be giving some set of predefined rules, and with the based upon the predefined rules, the output will be given by the computer. Whereas in the machine learning, the data and what output will be given, it will be fed to the computer, and based upon these two, when some input is being given, the computer, what it will do is it will define the rule itself, and it will give the correct output. So this is how the traditional algorithm will be differing from the machine learning algorithms. So there were 3 major classification of machine learning algorithms. First one will be supervised algorithm, second one is unsupervised, and third one is semi-supervised. So what is a supervised is, so the predeterminedly the machine will be trained, and the input and the output will be given to the machine, and the machine will be trained based upon the input that has been fed to it. So that we call it as a supervised algorithm, and what it is similar to a teacher teaching a student. That is, a student will learn in prior based upon the content which has been taught to him by the teacher. That is what is supervised algorithm. And unsupervised is nothing but without any predetermination. That is, only the machine will be trained only after some input is being given, and based upon that it will be giving the output. That is unsupervised. And semi-supervised is partly the machine will be trained, and partly it will be giving the output once the input has been given to the machine. So that is what semi-supervised. So supervised, we will be having 2 different types of output. One we call it as a classification, and second we call it as a regression. And the unsupervised, we have got majorly we will be getting the output in the form of the clusters. So these are the different types of learning in the machine learning. So this is what supervised. So the data will be given with the relationship that exists between the input and the other set of features that is being available in the given data. So based upon this, the relation will be predicted and we will be getting the output. That is a supervised algorithm. So this is one example of supervised algorithm. That is, when some radius and the volume has been given, so that we will be able to classify whether the tumor has been malignant or benign tumor. So that is classifying into 2 set of categories or 3 set of categories. We call it as a classification. So what is a regression is, it is nothing but the range of the analysis. That is, if the experience lies between 5 to 8 years, then the salary will be in the range of 20 to 25k. So this is what we call it as a regression. So regression is nothing but the output will be in the set of some range form. That is what a regression is. So both classification and regression will be under the supervised learning. So next is the unsupervised learning. So only the features will be given to the relation set and we will not be having any labeled data, whether what category it will be belong to. So such type of features will be given, and based upon the features we will be grouping the data into the clusters. So clusters is nothing but a group of data with similar features. We call it as a clusters. So that we call it as a unsupervised learning. So this is some example of unsupervised learning. We have got collection of nuts, and when we cluster it, we will be clustering the similar nuts into a separate group. That we call it as a unsupervised learning. So to perform both the supervised and the unsupervised learning, before we feed the input to the machine, first we have to do the data pre-processing. So data pre-processing is nothing but we are going to remove the unwanted data and the missing values from the data that is being given, so that the processing of the data will be easier when it has been fed to the machine. So there were many different techniques where we will be performing the data pre-processing. So first one is the removal of the missing values. So if we have any null values, then those null values will be removed. And the second one is the outlier detection. So outlier detection is, if at all, if any data lies outside the boundary value, then those set of data will be removed. That we call it as the outlier detection and elimination. So next one is the data balancing. So data balancing is nothing but if at all, if any of the data is not being balanced, that is, if few data might be in the low range and few data might be in the higher range, so we are going to balance the data such that when we classify the data, all the set of data will be in the same range of the analysis. So that we call it as a data balancing. So next one is the confusion matrix. So confusion matrix is nothing but the performance analysis of whether the machine predicts the correct output or not. That is what the confusion matrix is. So sometimes the machine will be giving the output accurately, and sometimes it might produce some error. So that is that the performance of the machine can be calculated using the confusion matrix. The performance, like how much accurately the machine predicts the output or what is the error rate of the machine, everything can be calculated with the help of this performance matrix. So next one is the data science. So data science is nothing but how the machine, that is if at all some huge amount of data has been fed to the machine, then we are going to calculate that set of data with the help of the technology. We call it as a data science. So next one is so how we are going to handle the huge set of data. So in the Microsoft Excel sheet, no, we cannot handle the heavy set of data, that is large amount of data. If it is a very small amount of data, then the Excel is very ideal to calculate the data part. If the data is very large enough, then the Excel is not the optimal worksheet to work upon. So to work with the large amount of data, we are going with many different set of tools. So the advanced tools which has been used for the various types of analysis has been listed out here. So few examples where we can either go with the R tool, Hadoop, Spark, Power BI, TensorFlow. So each set of tool have got its own set of properties which will be helpful in calculating with the large set of data. So next one is the type of data analytics. So data analytics we can classify, that is we can group into 4 types. First one is the descriptive analytics, second one is the diagnostic analytics, third one is the predictive analytics, and fourth one is the prescriptive analytics. So descriptive analytics, no, it will be dealing with what has happened in the past, and diagnostic analytics, it will be dealing with why the particular incident has happened in the past, and predictive analytics will deal with what will happen in the near future when such type of activity will take place, and prescriptive analytics will deal with how the future activity is going to happen. So among these 4 type of analytics, now we are going to discuss about what is a predictive analytics. So predictive analytics is nothing but it is a branch of the machine learning which is going to be deal with how the activity is going to take place in the near future. So it will deal with the regression, classification, and the clustering. So this was an example of the predictive analytics. So first one is the medical image analysis. So nowadays in the medical field, this predictive analytics is being widely used. So first application of predictive analytics is, so in the medical image analysis, when some image has been given to the system or given to the machine, it is going to examine what type of disease have occurred, or whether the image is being disease prone, or if any disease have been occurred. So that we can analyze by feeding the machine with the various set of images. So next one is the genomics. So in genomics is nothing but it is a study of the genes. So in genomics, so when we see, we have got 4 types of chemical bonds in the DNA, which is adenine, cytosine, guanine, and thymine. So among these 4, so all the 4 genes were available to all the persons. When we take each and every person, everyone are 99% genetically identical. Only one gene will be differing from one person to another person. So which gene has been differing from one person to another person, based upon that gene only the uniqueness of the person will be identified. So this can be done, so this can also be done with the help of the predictive analytics. So this is the difference between the genetics and the genomics. So genetics is nothing but it is the study of the heredity traits of an organism, whereas in genomics we are going to study about the entire genetic material of the genes, or the entire genetic material of the organism. In genetics it will be we will be studying but the mainly of a single gene, whereas in the genomics it will be dealt with the interaction among 2 or more genes that is being present in the organism. So this is this genomics, it helps in the calculation, it helps in the identification of the DNA differences between the health and the diseased person. Next one is the discovering of the drugs. So in discovering of drugs, so the drugs is being made, how the drugs has been manufactured, so for what are the chemicals or what are the molecules that is being used, so various combinations of the molecules, all these can be done with the help of the predictive analytics. So this is one structure of how the drug has been manufactured. When there are 2 set of different molecules, how those 2 set of different molecules can be combined, and what are the various combinations can be done, and whichever combination will be helpful in the disease clearance. So everything can be done using this predictive analytics. So next application will be in the patient health monitoring. So this AI methodology, it will be helpful to monitor the patient by wearing wristwatches, or with the help of the IoT equipments, we will be able to monitor the patient health, and based upon the monitoring we will be able to diagnose the patient with any of the diseases, or we will be able to give the correct treatment for the patient. So this is also the same, disease monitoring and prevention. We will be able to predict whatever diseases that has been occurred to the patient, and this predictive analytics is being now widely used in all the healthcare tools, which is being helpful for the scientists or the doctors to monitor the patient from the disease free and also to prevent the diseases. The last one is the offering the virtual assistants. So nowadays the healthcare people, that is the healthcare people, were providing virtual assistants to the patients by connecting through the online. So based in the online itself, they will be identifying what symptoms the patient have got and how the patient have been and what diseases have been the patient have been affected with, and they will be providing the suggestions. So in this way they will be providing the virtual assistance to the patient. So when we correlate everything, we can finally conclude that the predictive analytics have been widely used in the healthcare department nowadays, such as the monitoring of the patient's records, in the laboratory reports, and in the investigations, and also in the manufacturing of the drugs to cure the patient from the diseases. Thank you.